Stewart Friesen is back at the track, RFK Racing hires a new team president, and let's talk trucks ahead of an elimination race at New Hampshire. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, presented by Tableau TV. Happy Friday, folks. Friday is usually our catch-up day, where we catch up on any NASCAR news stories we may have missed over the past few days. Today, we're talking RFK Racing. RFK Racing has a lot to be excited about. Since the next-gen car was introduced, since Brad Keselowski, the K part of RFK, joined the organization, they've been, I think, on the upswing. They've been able to win races every single year. This year, they expanded to a 3 full-time car team. But earlier this year, longtime team president Steve Newmark announced he would be stepping down from that role to go join the University of North Carolina. Newmark had been in that leadership role for well over a decade. I'm pretty sure David Reagan was still driving for the team when he first got that job. So a significant change. This week, RFK Racing named Chip Bowers his successor. Bowers has business and marketing experience across other sports, the NBA, WNBA, Major League Baseball, a significant leadership hire for RFK, a team that is on the brink. They missed the playoffs this year. Winless so far this year. I mentioned they won a race in 22, won several races in 23. Both of their drivers won a race in 2024. This year they've come oh so close a number of times. Both Buescher, Ryan Preece, new addition this year, were right there on the bubble all summer long, but they couldn't come through. This is a team that's been right there for a couple of years now. I mean, 2023, Chris Buescher made the round of 8. Some had him as a dark horse championship 4 threat. They haven't yet realized their full potential, but they've still continued to take big swings. Ryan Preece, they brought Kroger on board as a premier partner this year, and the next couple of years are extremely important for just about every Cup organization, but especially someone in Roush's position. Jack is getting older. The leadership structure is likely going to continue to evolve. They have 3 full-time cars, 3 full-time drivers, but they only own 2 charters. What will the charter system look like next year and beyond? How can Roush acquire a 3rd charter so they don't have to lease every year or race as an open team? New manufacturers are on the doorstep. Brad Keselowski won a championship with Dodge 13 years ago. Dodge to Cup is a very real possibility. Honda is knocking on that door as well. So it's important to have a strong foundation. Hopefully this Chip Bowers character can pick up right where Steve Newmark left off. Big move this fall for RFK Racing, looking ahead to next year and beyond. Next, the Craftsman Truck Series and NASCAR Cup Series are both in Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway this weekend, and so is Stewart Friesen. The veteran Truck Series driver and team owner was injured in a horrific dirt-modified crash earlier this summer. Severe leg injury, pelvis injury, was rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, is okay and is at the track in the garage this weekend on crutches, but out and about. Spoke to reporters for both FloRacing. He also spoke to Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports this afternoon. He was very gracious, thankful for all the help and support he's received from those around the racing industry. He did say that he still doesn't have much feeling or mobility in his right foot, though he still expressed confidence that he could get back behind the wheel of a race car in the coming months. Bob Pockrass asked him if he could be back in time for Daytona this coming February, and Friesen said, quote, "That's the goal we set right away. If I can get a little more mobility and range of motion in this right foot, I'd like to be back in at least a dirt car, maybe for World Finals. But that's super wishful thinking." The World Finals, I believe, are in November, like 2 months away. So yeah, that is a super ambitious timeline, but I love that that's how Stewart Friesen thinks. He admitted to Bob Pockrass that he has considered not racing again, but then said he tries not to think about that too much. The dude is a racer through and through, and I just hope that he does get the opportunity to control his destiny. You know, like I hope he is able to make a largely full recovery so that he gets to decide when he's done racing dirt, when he's done racing trucks. To hear him talk about getting back behind the wheel, hopefully in the coming months, is encouraging, is satisfying to hear. I just hope that it becomes reality, I suppose. Stewart Friesen won a Craftsman Truck Series race earlier this year at Michigan. Remember, he qualified for the playoffs, but because of this injury, withdrew from the Drivers' Championship. Caden Honeycutt is now driving the Halmar Friesen 52 truck in the Owners' Playoffs. Playoff truck needed a driver, playoff driver needed a truck. They found each other. Caden Honeycutt in the 52. Before we look at the Truck Series points ahead of an elimination race at New Hampshire, I just want to finish things off by saying well wishes to Stewart Friesen. Awesome to see him at the track. Hope he's able to make a full recovery so that he is able to realize his goals of racing dirt again. Even if November is not realistic, hopefully he can get back on track in 2026. That would be incredible. So I'm wishing him the best. But to kind of transition here from talking about Stewart Friesen, his presence at the track, a lot of pressure on Caden Honeycutt and the Friesen 52 team to move on. I don't usually get to spend too much time on trucks, so let's look at the Truck Series playoff standings. Corey Heim, Lane Riggs won the first two races of these playoffs. They've already clinched spots in the round of 8, and Corey Heim, with as many playoff points as he has, is all but clinched a spot in the championship 4 at this point, barring the most epic of collapses. Lane Riggs, Corey Heim. I know Heim has dominated every major statistical category this year, but just like in 2024, Lane Riggs, Front Row Motorsports, have come on a bit stronger here the second half of this season. He's a short track racer through and through. If they both get to Phoenix, Lane Riggs versus Corey Heim is going to be a wheel-to-wheel, door-to-door, evenly matched fight. Lane Riggs just has to get there first, because that's the one knock against Lane Riggs. He makes some mistakes. He can be over-aggressive. We saw it at Bristol last week. Had the best car in the field, best truck in the field, spun himself out on lap 1 trying to be a hero. He's lucky he didn't get damage, was able to recover and work his way back to the front, ultimately win the race. But if that wreck goes differently, if someone gets into him, if he gets T-boned into the wall, his race is over, and so possibly are his playoffs. So that's the one knock against Riggs. Can he make it through the round of 8 without any mistakes? If he does, at Phoenix, I think it's a toss-up between Heim and Riggs. Should be an intriguing rivalry. But looking at this elimination race at New Hampshire, Hemrick is good. Ty Majeski should be fine. Side note, we've talked this year about how ThorSport doesn't quite look like themselves. They've been better lately, led as usual by Ty Majeski, but even Ben Rhodes, who's not a playoff driver, almost won Bristol last week. So ThorSport starting to figure it out. I feel good about where Majeski is. Grant Enfinger, Tyler Ankrum, they both have years of truck experience at this point. Decent cushion. I feel confident. Here's where we'll find Caden Honeycutt, 18 points to the good, still trying to adjust to his new Halmar Friesen Toyota Racing team, in a decent spot, but one big bad mistake could put him on the cut line. Raja Karuth, we talked about him yesterday. Great opportunity next weekend at Kansas with Hendrick Motorsports in the Xfinity Series, but he can't look that far ahead. He needs to focus on today, tomorrow, New Hampshire, trucks, advance. 14-point cushion sounds okay, sounds decent, but look who's under the cut line. I just mentioned that ThorSport seems to have turned a corner. Jake Garcia had a good truck before mechanical issues took him out at Bristol, and I could say the same thing about another Ford driver here, Chandler Smith. Also had a competitive truck before early mechanical problems eliminated him. Chandler Smith could absolutely win New Hampshire. I expect him to run top 5 tomorrow, so that puts pressure on Garcia, Caruth, Honeycutt. Raja just needs to keep his eyes forward, control what he can control, go out there, run top 10, maybe a leapfrog a Caden Honeycutt if he has trouble, or a Tyler Ankrum if he has trouble. And if that happens, you don't have to worry about a new winner. What you can't do if you're Raja Caruth is take yourself out early and make Jake Garcia or Chandler Smith's jobs a bit easier. Keep the pressure on them. They both enter this race feeling like they have to win. That's the kind of pressure you want to put on those two still fairly young race car drivers. But yeah, it's interesting. The Truck Series playoff picture, I feel like it's a tight battle this year. Behind Corey Heim, I should say. Like, Heim is all but guaranteed to make the championship 4. He's earned that by being so damn good all season long. But then once we even get to Phoenix, that's what I mean. Ty Majeski has been there, done that. Lane Riggs might have something for Heim on the short, flat ovals. Daniel Hemrick won an Xfinity Series championship at Phoenix 4 years ago. So going to be fascinating, a fascinating fight to the finish. Let me know down in the comments below who your Truck Series Championship 4 picks are. Do you think Raja will hang on past New Hampshire? Do you expect Chandler Smith or Jake Garcia to make some noise Saturday afternoon? Let me know down in the comments below. But that is going to do it for a fun Friday catch-up episode of Out of the Groove. Thanks for hanging out with me. A lot of content this week. Posted a lot of stuff the last few days. New Hampshire weekend preview. Brendan Poole and I recorded a new Power Hour. A lot of good Xfinity Series conversation in there. A lot of good stuff. Head to my channel in case you missed it. I'll see you later this weekend. Truck Cup, New Hampshire doubleheader, elimination race for the Craftsman Truck Series. Lots of intrigue, lots of interest. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.